Alright y'all, it is day 2 of this Merge Masters build. Angle's a bit different, you guys can see better. Last night I went ahead and DevCon. See it shiny in places, lighting not so great. Anyway, so this is all one now. So now it is epoxy putty time. I use Waterweld, JB Waterweld. They use it on boats, so it works really good on plastics. You can obviously use it on pretty much anything, but I like using it. It does kind of make things a little bit easier. Has a better dry time, and it sands really easy. So I'm gonna go ahead and start kind of filling gaps. I cut these plastic sheets, the black plastic there, to fill that rail gap. That way I'm not forcing putty in a groove it doesn't want to go in. So yeah, you kind of just take this stuff, cut the section you want, I just tear it, and yeah, do that kind of stuff. I'm gonna mix up this whole thing. This is gonna take a while, so future me, get to editing. All right, when you have it moldable and in a little ball, that's when I like using it. Don't go crazy with this stuff. I'm gonna apply little amounts in different places each time, setting this down. Way I can take like this section, set it down on the piece it came with, and now I can mold quickly this little piece into where I want it. You can see I'm making this pretty long. This is gonna lay right up here in my rail area. Now, this doesn't have to be perfect. This is our molding. We are just trying to get all this to look like one. So I just recommend getting it in the groove as good as we can. And blending is a great art. So this does take time. When you're doing your first coats, because I am gonna do more of this in different places. Always make sure you are getting it all the way in the groove you're trying to do, because that's gonna make it stronger. And you definitely want it to be strong. You don't want this coming apart or anything. So do your stuff, but make sure we are pushing in. And find your lines. This is the time to find the body lines that you want to keep, basically. So I really want this rail to kind of look like it's just flat. This is how it is. I want it to look like it's meant to be here. So I'm trying to make the line of the rail disappear. I basically want it to disappear, and I want it to look like it's supposed to be here. Same with the top of the long shot rail. I want that to look like it's supposed to be here. That will take a lot more work, and possibly Bondo body filling, but I'm gonna try and do it with what we got, because I don't want to buy more stuff. I have a whole nother stick of this stuff underneath here, so I do have options to do so. But I'm not looking to like go crazy on this necessarily. Build up our little step there. Pack in, pack in, pack in. Back out and right there. Okay. It's nice and easy to be pulling these pieces off and going that way. That's why I always mix up the whole thing of what I want to mix up first, and then I pull from it as I go. I'm trying to keep as many screw ports as I can. The Retaliator rail I kept no screw ports from, which makes sense because, you know, that is gone. So I'm trying to maintain them where I can, and in order to do that, I'm going to use my pinkies, because I am touching epoxy putty, and get a screwdriver and use it to push the putty out of the screw port and make it look like it's supposed to be there. Pretty cool. Get in the groove. There we go. We have the angle now. Push back. Screwdriver. Push the putty away. Okay. That's pretty good. Oh, okay. I'm just gonna put that away. Gotta start using this putty. It's starting to get hard on me. That's what she said. Childish? Maybe. Funny? Yes. Alright, now that this has been sitting here, it's a little hard. Once you mix the two, you really don't have a lot of time. But you can see it's kind of doing it. It's nowhere near as usable as it was before, but we don't really have that much else to be doing with it, so I'm gonna take it all jammed up in here. Pardon the wind noises. My garage door is open. Okay, I like that diagonal line there. Pack into that corner, down. That will be easy to smooth out later. Okay, and that is the way looks messy, yes, but then we're gonna sand it, smooth it, Bondo putty it, Bondo it, spot putty it. This is going to look really good, I think, when we're done with this. So the rest of this is going to be used on the butt of the rail here and around the stock area, which is completely DevCon. So this is really just to make it look like it's meant to be there. Should put that on my thing over here. Like I mentioned you guys to do, I shouldn't just set it randomly, right? Right. I'll answer myself. So I'm gonna use too much of this right here as I break that, because I don't want this coming apart. And epoxy putty is structural. You can use it that way. You can. I'm actually going to use this fork. This is a clean fork. Not that I feel like I have to explain myself to you guys. This is a clean fork. It's from the entry post, and it's really nice to use to mix up the to mix up the DevCon. It's a lot easier to mix up the DevCon with something you don't care about. So a plastic utensil, plastic knife, plastic fork, plastic spoon, especially once you use the little thing it comes with, unless you have more of those laying around, which I don't. I usually have junk pieces of plastic from cutting stuff, but that's usually the extent of my waste. I try to use as many pieces as I cut. Obviously, if I'm shaving or shaping with the Dremel, I lose a little bit, but I try pretty hard to not have unusable pieces. It's gonna go there. Pack right in around that. This is all really crucial to keep as flat as possible because the stock is going to be functional. So I need to remember that I have to do that. So remember yourself later that you have to do that. Okay, and I have this last little bit left. That's pretty much done. It is hard as a rock. Talking about this is actually really, really hard while doing it. I don't need much of this. I just need some of it. Right there. Back in. I really, really, really want to put more right here. Okay. Get rid of that. And right here. Okay. shaped as such. It looks like a tooth on the Picatinny rail. Little mini triangle. Okay, there's that. Smooth. Right. Okay, and that is our first shot on epoxy putty. Yes, this is sitting above the surface, but it is pushed into my groove pretty far. Always something you want to make sure you do is push it in. Obviously, you saw I was trying to fill that tiny little gap. So always push. Just because it's on the surface doesn't mean it's where you want it. And the DevCon is my main fastener for all these shells, but the epoxy putty will help. You just have to make sure you are pushing it into your grooves everywhere you want it to be. And that if you have two meeting halves, they gotta match. They have to match up. So yeah, that is that half all packed in there. Now I am going to dump this. Some scrap. Wiggle myself back. Pop the drawer, and get the other stick. Now we used about a third, maybe a half on that. So I'm gonna try and use as little as this as possible, because I shouldn't have to use that much. I really shouldn't. Where's the seam? There's a seam, there it is. Oh, there we go. I'm wearing gloves, hard to open this. We just unroll. We don't unroll all the way, right about there. Take the chunk I want to use, roll it back up. I pinch the end. I don't think it matters because it's two separate things still. You can see the center is a darker color than the outside, which is why when you're rolling, you're gonna roll this, fold it, roll it, fold it, roll it in a ball, roll it out, fold it in half. You can see the color starting to mix. Pull it apart. Pull it, pull it, pull it, roll it. Squish it. You can see we still have some swirls. When it's one complete color, you know you're done. So roll, pull, 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 twist, roll. Also, this is why you wear gloves. This stuff will get on your hands if you're wearing jewelry, rings. It will not make your life fun. That's for sure. Roll it out. I'm gonna do one more of that, and then I think we're ready to use this stuff. So that's pretty cool. Piece is ready. I'm doing the top of this rail area first, just like we did last time. I'm gonna be a bit more less gentle with this area right here, because I know I am going to change this quite a bit. Always have your other half as reference so you see what you did, because you're gonna have to mirror that. Otherwise your halves won't match and that can look sloppy. Get in there, cover that. Okay. Next piece. You can see I'm moving a little quicker this time. That's so I don't have the hardened putty. Once it starts to harden, it starts to do its thing. You really want it to be where you want it to be before that starts happening. You can have issues with it adhering, so that is just something to keep in mind. That's not the piece, that's his stuff's over here. I am definitely going to need more. We probably used about half a stick then. Which is fine. I'm not upset about that. I do have this whole stick. It was not my intent to use the whole stick. But, if I must, I must. Tomorrow, I am obviously going to be sanding for a lot of the day. Or I should say on day 3. It might not be tomorrow. But on day 3 of doing this, I'm going to spend a lot of time sanding, I can tell you that. The Nexus Pro has a lot of detail on it. It has all these little, trapezoids, I think. Anyway, it's got all this extra detail, which I really, really like. It's why I wanted to, incorporate it into this build. I did not know then that it was going to be the primary build, but now it is. I'm going to take another third. That's probably what I did. I probably used 2/3 of it on the last build or something like that. I don't even know. But I got to be quick with this because that stuff is already going to start to dry and I want it to adhere to itself and all this stuff. I still got to add more up at the rail area to make it look the same. And obviously I have to do all the back of the rail and stock area stuff. But yeah, this is what it takes to do this kind of stuff. It's really not a lot. Basic tools, screwdrivers, make sure you're old enough. I don't know y'all's ages. But power tools are great. I have my Milwaukee drill. I have my Dremel. You can't see it. It's right there. Oh no, you can see it. Perfect. And you know, especially for flywheel stuff, soldering iron, all the goods, you can't see that. That is all the way over that in that corner. You also know when this stuff is kind of done because it gets really warm, which is a weird feeling. I will definitely say it's a weird feeling. Okay, I packed into that groove, smooth through there, and cut up on this trapezoid right here, and blended those two. Okay. See, that's why it's nice to have your other piece in front of you, because you can literally mirror your stuff, which is great. This is gonna go to the front of it. I don't know why that little piece didn't stay attached there. And then stretch down, yeah, pretty much all the way around that. Okay, sweet. This little guy goes here. Yeah, wow, okay, that is pretty much identical. Up on that for as much as we can. And press in. Yeah, the stuff I already put here is cold. This stuff is warm, which is the chemical reaction happening in this stuff while you're using it, which is why we like it, because it two-part becomes one. All the fun stuff to make other fun stuff. Okay. I want that to pull into that more and be complete there. I'm gonna take a little piece from this. It's not little. A little piece from this. Roll it, because I like the line I did here better. So I'm gonna pull this up here and back off. There. Not a problem adding too much. I can always sand it off. It takes a while, but I can always sand it off. Okay, I'm happy with that now. I just want to make the two halves match. That is really big. Symmetrical pieces is great. I am not gonna have enough to do this, I know that. Okay, Oh, that got really messy on me. Roll. We're starting to get hard. Oh, garage door closed itself. Don't be afraid to hold your piece with your hands. This stuff does dry. Just don't get it on your clothes. I don't know. I've never done it. I would assume it probably wouldn't want to come off. So keep that in mind as you're doing this. Wear gloves. You should probably be wearing eye protection. I'm sure this stuff is not good if it gets in your eyes. I have safety glasses. They're sunglasses. They're not safety glasses. I'm not even going to pretend that they're safety glasses. Okay. Actually, this might be just enough to do the rest of this. I just need this little bit for this rail area up here. Literally perfect. And then the rest of this is going to go there. And I need to steal a little bit from somewhere. Ah, perfect. Okay, there's that half. I built this up on the other one, probably a little too far. But again, I just want them to be even, so whatever it takes to do that is necessary. Now the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna flip this just because I don't think it really matters that much. I'm gonna do a little tiny bit more of this because I didn't like how this felt when I started to move it. I don't know if you saw me messing with it. It was kind of subtle. But it creaked a tiny little bit when I did that. And I don't like that. So I am going to lay some in between the two rails. And in the gap where the rail and thing is there. I'm just going to kind of pack it in, just like I do in these areas where I have filler pieces. It is a lot easier to add a filler piece and then cut the pieces you don't want off of it later and smooth it with like an ABS slurry or JB Weld, or if you want to go back with more DevCon. I don't want to go back with more DevCon, so I don't want to have to do that, but obviously I will. Get off of me. I hate that sometimes. Roll this back under the ball. Okay. And it's pretty thin. Lay it in the rail. Because it doesn't want to lay in the rail. Because you're never going to see this. From underneath the rail, you're never going to look at the inside of it. It's really just for me. So I feel confident about it. Problem is, when this stuff gets so hot, it's so sticky. Just stick to what I want you to stick to, dude. Okay, it's not gonna go there. Alright, well, it's just gonna get jammed in here then. It's because it's all over my gloves. It is sticking to itself, basically. I basically am wearing epoxy putty on my hands right now. Yeah, so that's kind of what's happening right now. See, as I'm rolling it, it's depositing pieces of itself on me. Pack that in there. And this will obviously also give my front area there more build-up. Because there is a little bit of DevCon on the back of each rail area here. But I want this to be jammed in here. Like that. Alright, I just had to be more aggressive with it than I really wanted to be. But it's fine. Okay, I just want a little bit more connection. Doesn't everyone? We all just want a little bit more connection. I don't know. I'm fine. This is the process. Y'all wanted to see this. I don't know if y'all wanted to see this. But this is how the milk is made. Chocolate is made. I'm fine. Okay, and then this last little bit goes up here. Don't stick to me, mofo. Ooh, mind my language. That is not a word I want to use. Glad I bleeped myself. If it was dubbed, then you know I actually said the word. But I don't think I actually... I might have said the word. Yep, get that little ramp up. We're gonna have a nice little notch right here. For now, I don't know if that will stick around, but it's on both, so we're gonna try our best. Okay, that is day 2 of puttying, and honestly cleaning the garage. I will flip around so you guys can see that, but what you gotta do when you do projects like this, you have to clean a lot. A lot. And it can be really annoying, but let me show you. Hey, you guys gotta clean. This floor was covered. I put these down, makes cleaning easier, wipe it right off. Some stuff. My lawnmower. You guys gotta clean. Clean. Keep everything nice and clean and dust free. Yeah, day 2, not so bad. I'm gonna take my putty pictures, I'm gonna gray image them black and white so I can see what it's gonna look like when it's done, and kind of see what it looks like. The stock is just chilling up here. I am not doing anything with the stock. It's just gonna be functional and hold a Talon magazine. That is all I care about. I want the extra magwell. I shouldn't have. I'm fine. But yeah, it has been a long day. I've been up for a long time. It's not even dark out. But yeah, so thank you guys very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all the fun stuff, all the cool stuff. And yeah, I'm going to go maybe eat something. I don't know. I don't even know what time it is. 7:20. It's not too bad. Anyway, that is what we got. And peace out, bros.